Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about the second unit of cloud concepts. Right, there are three units in this first chapter, and mainly I'm going to focus on the second unit, which is benefits of using cloud services. What are those benefits? How it is going to be beneficial for the companies as well as the businesses, whether it is small scale company or or medium scale company, right? And these are really depend on the cloud service providers, as well as these are the high level of benefits. It again depends on the service provider, right? Because each service is built differently for their customers, and it totally is depend how we as a customer are using those things or those services, right? So let's get started. The first is, which is high availability and scalability in cloud. So here we see uh, high availability as well as the scalability of clouds. As a customer, we will get the high availability as well as the scalability while using cloud services, right? And we as a customer, we completely rely on Microsoft services, and we can rely on the Microsoft services, right? So there are some certain of some sort of SLAs on different services. Those are provided by Microsoft, which is service level agreements, and they are notifying us, we as a customer, uh, what are the what are the SLAs on different services, how you can expect that from Microsoft, right? If the particular service is not available on a particular duration, and then what we can expect out of that, or from Microsoft in return, in this example, right? And at the same way, the Microsoft is providing high availability on all the different services. So there are certain services or different services all across the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. So I'll name a few here, and you might have seen and experienced all of those, so including Microsoft Teams, SharePoint Online, OneDrive for Business, Exchange Online, then Microsoft Intune, Microsoft Defender Product Suite, as well as Microsoft Entra ID, which is rebranded from Azure AD or Azure Active Directory to Microsoft Entra ID. So all of these are the Microsoft services, and coupled with Microsoft 365, and all of those services are available across the globe. It is not something are only available for one particular country or specific location, right? And those would be available for everyone as in to those who have subscribed for those licenses or those services from Microsoft Cloud, and those are easily available. But you might be saying, okay, so I have subscribed, I have licenses, but now how Microsoft is giving me maximum availability regardless of disruptions or any events or any issues that may occur or that may happen, right? Even nobody knows what kind of event is going to happen after maybe day or month or maybe tomorrow or maybe after a few minutes, right? So those are the different events, and that is when Microsoft is making sure that whatever services you are using, those services are available for you as a customer, and you can use it 24/7. So there is no disruption, there is no stoppage, there is no blocker at all, right? And that is why Microsoft is making sure everything is available for you. Also, Microsoft is saying that we would be giving you a scalability along with the services. For example, if particular location goes down due to unwanted situations, maybe flooding, or there is a disaster recovery, or there is something. So those are the events which may or may not occur. So that is not something which is planned activity, right? And that is when Microsoft has taken care of that as well. So here are the two ways that Microsoft is taking care of those unwanted situations and making sure the customer has the services that they have subscribed for available for their times and monies that they are spending on. So there are two ways. One is vertical scaling and second is horizontal scaling, right? So both are different. Here you can see with vertical scaling, if you are developing something or if you have something to be built across the company, but Microsoft is taking care of that as well by using platform as a service solutions, and even include in the horizontal scaling as well, right? So it is not only for developing a particular service or developing a product or developing something in house. At the same time, you would be able to utilize the services which are part of Microsoft 365 ecosystem, right? Even all of those services are available across the globe, and even if your tenant or service is hosted at particular location, you get the access or you can utilize all those services from any other locations as well. So it is going to give you a scalability as well for your all the workloads that you have subscribed for and using for your organization or business, right? So this was the one first topic of unit 3 on high availability and scalability. So we'll jump on to the next, which is reliability and predictability in the cloud, right? So this what this says is reliability is the particular recovery mechanism or which has a function of recover from failure, and that is when Microsoft has taken care of the services that they are providing, that they have hosted on their data centers, and they are making sure how you can rely on those services, right? And how Microsoft has built those, right? So Microsoft has their reliability uh, function, which is under Microsoft Azure well architected framework, and this is a pillar of this framework, right? And that is why how this particular infrastructure or particular service is going to be available for customers all the time. Why all the time? Because customers are paying for that, and definitely no one would like to experience such issues when there is particular service which is simply not working for them, right? And then they would definitely complain about it, saying that we are paying monthly, and we are still not getting the expected support and services that we have subscribed for, right? And that is why this is very important in any of the services, not in this case or not only in this particular product suite, I would say, but any product, any service that you are using or experiencing in the cloud, that they should have their reliability on it. And the next is predictability in the cloud, which really helps to understand the products and services. Those are really predictable and can be utilized without any issues, right? And for example, I as a customer or anyone as a customer can say that, okay, so this is the product that I'm going to use, but I would also do evaluation of that product, saying that, okay, this product is widely being used, as well as this product has all the check marks which are really been considered as well architected by the provider, in this case Microsoft, and they are really making sure the product is fully available, and whatever is available for customers, that should be available all the time, and there shouldn't be any situations that they should face or they shouldn't face at all, right? At the same time, any product or any service that we are using that is very good at performance and cost effective too as well, right? So if I am going to procure or purchase any product, then that should be something which I really need to really need uh, best in demand, or it should be very good at performance, right? If it is something like lacking the speed and performance of the product and service, I would really want like to utilize or use that, because that's not going to help me and my business and my company at all, right? And that is why the performance is very also very important along with the high availability of that product. And to remediate all those situations, Microsoft has really put on all the different infrastructures and different services in group together, and they have implemented all those in their data centers across the globe, and they are making sure all the products and services are available along with high performance, right? So that is really important to understand and know how this product or this service is going to really make use of this product for me, because I'm investing money and time on this, and definitely they should give me the ROI on it that I'm expecting out of that, right? And the next is cost, right? So everyone wanted to know and wanted to understand and would like to take care of their spendings as well. So the cost predictability is mostly focused on predicting or forecasting of the spends across the cloud investments. So in this case, I'm not saying only cloud, but it could be any service that company or the business is using, right? And that is why everyone would like to know how much we are spending on cloud services, how much we are spending on any of the product that we have procured or purchased for, right? And that is why, in general, cost optimization would be the part of that which would come into play when we are procuring purchasing services, and would also be definitely being used across the business. And that is why Microsoft is saying that whatever you are we are costing on the different products and services, those are depend on the different plans and services that you're utilizing. Along with that, uh, definitely you would get the full benefit of each of the product and services that you are subscribed for. So there won't be any situation or any challenge for you to use the particular product or service, even if you are saying that you are spending so much money or xyz money on that product, and you are not able to utilize it, or you are not getting the respected or expected utilization, then definitely there is need to reevaluate the usage of the product, and then how you can optimize the costs, right? So all of that would be under the costs and cost predictability and the forecasting of the cost on spendings of the different products and services. So in this Microsoft 365 ecosystem, or in this regards, the cost is mainly focused on or basis on the licenses or the license types, which license you are procuring, which license you have, be it E3, E5, a business standard, business basic, business premium, and even it could be A1 or F3 or F1. So basis on really depends on the industry that the particular organization is dealing or they are doing business in, right? So it totally depends on which type of license or subscription plan we are purchasing and using those, and it totally depends again how one organization is utilizing the licenses effectively, so that they can get the complete ROI on top of that. So it's not something you are just purchasing licenses and you are not using as expected. That means there is an opportunity for us to re-evaluate and understand the usage of each of those licenses, and understand the total cost of ownership, and also we should be able to estimate the spend of all the subscriptions or licenses going forward. So that's going to help us to predict the cost, and then we should be able to make sure we are utilizing whatever we have or whatever we are getting from service provider, like in this case Microsoft, and we should be able to understand and utilize it. The next one is security and governance, right? Under security and governance, which is also a benefit of these 365 fundamentals, where we can see there are many different security as well as governance solutions across Microsoft 365 ecosystem, which includes Defender for Office capabilities, which has or which is a main capability which really has uh, email filtering services under Exchange Online Protection, right? It has many features and functionalities. For example, anti-phishing, anti-malware, anti-spam, safe links, and safe attachments, which are the different filters available, and those filters are really helpful to filter out the spam and phishing and unwanted emails or email communication that is happening from the internet, right? And that's just one example, but there are many such examples from security standpoint. At the same time, Microsoft does provide the governance capabilities as well. So governance capabilities include data protection and information protection. So in both the categories, we have a different feature sets altogether. For example, information barrier is one of those which is or which falls under the information protection security guide or security mechanism, security feature. Along with that, sensitivity labels that falls under the data protection. Then then we have DLP, data loss prevention, which is a part of data protection policy or data protection mechanism, right? So all of these different features and services are available across the security and governance capabilities of Microsoft 365 ecosystem. And these are just the example I'm giving here, but apart from these there are many other products and services. So if I were to give you an example of Microsoft 365 Defender suite, it has four suite of products. First is Microsoft Defender for Identity, Defender for Office 365, Defender for Endpoint, and Defender for Cloud Apps, right? So which we call ideally as MCAS, which is Microsoft Cloud App Security. Also, we uh, it has a different features altogether, which is a major feature or major products we can say, which is MCAS or CASB, Cloud App Security Broker, right? At the same time, there are different features on all of these different products under the each particular main product. Let's say Microsoft Defender for or Microsoft Defender, right? At the same way, we have security mechanisms and governance mechanisms for all the major workloads, including SharePoint, Teams, OneDrive, and Exchange Online, right? So even we have the capabilities to deploy data loss prevention policies, sensitivity label policies, as well as information barrier policies on SharePoint and Teams and OneDrive. So how people can share files and data across the tenant, across the company, right? And how people should communicate and should not communicate by deploying that information barrier policy. We would be able to make sure the communication is tightened at certain extent, and we don't want anyone to communicate if definitely there's a confidential communication is happening, or should happen or should not happen, right? And do we really have any solution that we can prevent such communication should reveal the confidential details, and we can take the appropriate actions. right? And even if we wanted to deploy that mechanism on SharePoint, we should be able to do that because there are also similar governance and security measures we can put in place, right? So this is really important from security and governance point of view. Also, this helps us, help organizations to make sure we are complying with the regulatories as well as security and compliance requirements from different countries and regulations, so that wherever we are doing business we are in compliance and we don't have to spend money on situations when there is no compliance requirements met from the regulatories, because definitely there would be a lot of third party audits happening when we are expanding the business and when the business is growing across the different geolocations and countries. Then companies has to be compliant on different things. It is not only on a particular location or data, but they have to comply on everything what they are doing, everything what they are doing in business, and everything all about that particular domain they are expert in, right? So yeah, that's the all about security and compliance or security and governance in the cloud. So I'm just giving you this a bit of basic fundamentals understanding, but there are lot many things to discuss and explore and learn more, and definitely that's going to happen in future videos as well. Yeah. So next one here is manageability, right? So what is manageability? So manageability is nothing but how we can manage the cloud or how we can manage the environment, right? For example, I have this subscription with me, right? And I'm using it, for example, for my company, right? And at the same time, there are different use cases. Different companies are using different environments, be it cloud or hybrid or private cloud or anything, right? So at the same time, there are different resources needed to manage it, right? And to make sure our environment is up and running along with it is kept secured so that no one do any such activities which might temper the environment or which might impact the organizations from cyber threats or cyber security incidents or anything, right? And that is why we should have a right set of people or right set of expertise to manage that, and also they should be able to take care of everything or every workload across the environment. And this is why Microsoft is giving us the ability, as they are giving different ways how we can manage it. So we can manage the cloud environments using web portals, the command line interface, then using APIs, and then using PowerShell. So these are the different ways we can manage Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Total depends on the licenses again, because as soon as we have different licenses, that means we are purchasing and procuring the different set of licenses and features, and those would be available for users who are going to use those features and services, right? And most importantly, even no one is using those license and features, but still those are available in the tenant. That means uh, at some point we have purchased those licenses and we are bound to pay, right? Microsoft or any provider in this case, they are not going to say, okay, you haven't used this service, so we are not going to charge you. But in other model, which is pay as you go, if you didn't use particular service for a particular period or longer than expected, then the provider is not going to cost you. But in license model, even if you buy or purchase product or license, and even if you don't use, then also you will be charged. So definitely there are different things to understand and handle that one, and that's the main thing to manage. That should be a part of management of 365 cloud environment as well, right? So this is all about the benefits of manageability in the cloud. At the same time, we can say benefits of high availability and scalability, then reliability and predictability, and security and governance, along with manageability. So that's all about the benefits of cloud services, right? And these are really helpful and important to know at the same time, because we as a customer or end user, we should be able to do all of these things and make sure we are using at the fullest, so that we are not lagging behind, right? So yeah, that's all about benefits of cloud services. And thanks for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, thanks. Bye for now.